But I know that and I'm gonna let Aisha just jump in with more of the like details, but Black Mamas ATX is a nonprofit that really came out of this collective of Black women, a collective of researchers within the School of Social Work. It's a project that formed within the School of Social Work, a grant research project. But the collective is really where it came from. It's a group of researchers, a group of policymakers, public health professionals, community activists who really saw the disparity and the need of Black women, saw that Black women were dying, and that this is preventable, and that we have to really do something about it. And so all these brilliant, beautiful Black women came together and raised the funds to get this going, and have really done so much with so little. I'm honestly so impressed. So that is kind of how it started, really just out of this need and passion. And I don't know, Aisha, if there's more you want to add to that about the beginnings and the work.
I think I can add more to that. I mean,
Great.
you really did hit the nail on the head. That was how it came about. It was born out of need, and Black women got together and recognized that, you know, that adage, "We're the ones we've been waiting for." Yeah, that's Black Mamas ATX in a nutshell. We recognize that addressing at least in part, some of the maternal health disparities that we are facing as Black women require Black women to step up and provide the solutions. And we recognize that the solutions are with us. We don't need to look outside of ourselves to figure out how to fix this issue. And so that's how Black Mamas ATX came about. We recognized that the research had already been done on the benefits of having doula support. And we also recognize that many Black women either didn't know about doulas, or they knew about doulas, but they were not utilizing doulas for various reasons. A big one being cost. And so part of our founders' mission was, how are we going to address this issue by making sure that Black women have access to doulas if they want one, without having to think about how am I going to pay for it. And so our organization prides itself on being able to provide Black birth and postpartum doulas to our clients, regardless of socioeconomic background, free of cost to our clients, full stop.
Amazing.
It is amazing. And I think one of the things too that always struck me as a Black mother, as someone who also experienced some birth trauma, is that whenever we think of disparities, we think about low income, a group of low income marginalized folks. But the research shows that it doesn't matter how much money, education you make, Black women are still experiencing higher rates of maternal death and maternal morbidity across the board. So the fact that we offer these services and we're doing it for free for everyone, I think is really, really important.
Absolutely. It's incredible. It's a showstopper. And you know, you're pointing out something that I don't think most people have really even thought about. And, you know, education is, you know, the first thing is always education and heart and love, for sure. So, okay, so how does it work? And then you can flow right into kind of how COVID has challenged and how you've, I'm sure, risen to the challenge. So how does it work?
How does it work?
You do a lot.
With a little. We have a whole lot of background magic. No, in this
a little bit of magic, and then
the rest. So how does it work? We basically provide birth and postpartum doula care, and how we do that is we have a first initial visit with our clients. It could be via phone, via Zoom, however they want to do it. Connect. We share exactly what we do, exactly how we do it, for as long as we do it, and we get their buy-in. Is this what you're looking for? If you're not looking for what we offer, we're totally okay with sharing the contact information for other doula groups, and you can find a fit that works for you. We encourage our clients to register with us as early as possible in pregnancy. So we prefer if our clients register before 28 weeks, which is a little different from other doula groups. They're like, yeah, call us when you're getting close to birth and we'll be there to support.
Okay.
But a key part of what we do is incorporate, as you said, education is key. We incorporate education into our prenatal program. And so we have monthly meetings with our clients for that purpose. One of the main things that doulas do is provide informational support to their clients to help them to make informed decisions about their care. We do not diagnose. We do not provide clinical services, and we make it very clear that we don't do that, but we do provide as much information as we can to ensure that our clients have all the information that they can work with to make decisions related to their care and the care of their babies. And so it's really important to us that we have that time to build community, to build trust and connection with our clients, because we're going to be with you at a very vulnerable time in your life. And you want to really be comfortable with us when we show up, right?
100%.
Yeah. And so it also gives us that extra time to share as much as we can. It also gives us a lot of time to be able to supply or connect our clients with resources, other resources that they might need. Time is a good thing, you know, when you have the time, you can get just about anything done. And so basically that's what Care With Us looks like. In birth, labor and birth, we give physical and emotional primarily. There's also that informational support component still there in the labor process, but we're primarily giving physical and emotional support to our clients at their chosen place of birth. So for the majority of clients, that may be the hospital. But we do have clients who are choosing to birth at birth centers, choosing to birth at home. And so wherever our clients decide to birth, that is where we show up and support birth. And we do that all throughout their labor process. We support them having the type of birth experience that they want, assuming that it's medically possible. There's no medical reason why they should not be able to have the experience that they want. We support them in that. And we stick around for about an hour or two after baby's born for a couple of reasons. One, we want to make sure you're good, mama. Everything's all right.
Yes.
You know, you're getting stable. You're all in love with this new person that just came out of you and you're having that moment. But we also give some support with our clients who choose to breastfeed. And so if you want to initiate breastfeeding, we're there in that first 2-hour period to help you in that process. And then postpartum, we have a very unique setup postpartum. Don't mean to toot our own horn, but
go ahead. Go ahead.
I think we're pretty awesome when we do this. In the first 6 weeks postpartum, we have visits weekly. And we have visits weekly because this is usually the time when stuff is like, woo.
Right.
You had a baby, you
Nobody can tell me this part about
what is happening.
My body's doing things, my mind's doing things, and then there's a person here and everything is just happening.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Time, right? And so that's when we find a lot of women are needing a whole lot of support and contact with us. And so we do weekly visits in that first 6-week period. And then from 6 to 12 weeks, we're doing visits every 2 weeks. So we're kind of spreading it out a little bit because that's usually the time that moms are like, yeah, I think I'm okay. Still need you, but I'm okay.
Right.
And then after that, we're doing a 3-month, 6-month, 9-month, and 1-year visit. Now, for the majority of our clients, that actually more looks like we're meeting with them every month because we are so close. It's like, yeah, no, we're not doing this in 3 months. We're doing this next month.
Right.
But our official schedule is the 3, 6, 9, and 12 months. At the end of the 12-month period, we have a little celebration for our moms and their babies because they have both defied the odds. And they have made it through because as quiet as it's kept, we like to focus on Black maternal disparities, and that's super important for us to do. But as quiet as it's kept, Black children are actually 4 and 5 times more likely to die than white children before their first birthday. And that's part of the reason why we have our program for a year, to have them both in close contact with us, where we can give the support, where we can share resources for them to get support from other sources to ensure that we don't have any statistics like that coming through. Right. And so that's what we do, kind of how we do it in a nutshell. Starla, I don't know if there's anything you want to jump in about that.
Well, just adding in, so we have our amazing doula support services, and we also recently were able to hire a therapist. And so we're able to provide free therapy, which is huge because we know
Wow.
that physical health and mental health are one in the
Yes.
same, and that postpartum time is, I mean, that's where we really see a lot of things, just the need for emotional and real mental health support, to really have an eye on postpartum depression, to really be able to intervene in that time and provide that support for mamas.
Yeah,
So we have that resource as well. The sister circles we have every month as well. That's part of the education.
Right.
But yeah, I think there's a real community that is created that is really lacking, honestly, in Austin. But I think what's so unique about Black Mamas is that they, you know, we are focused on Black women, and that is, that's it's just what's needed. And we really provide this sort of like circle of care around these Black mamas, which we know will affect children and families and the
Oh, yeah.
community.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I wrote that down. Community, connection, and information. Like, I feel like all those things you were. So, I mean, it doesn't sound like, I mean, I guess other than the consultations going online, I mean, you're still going to be with them during a birth. I mean, that is gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. So that's great to hear.
Barring changes in hospital policy and that sort of thing. So when COVID first hit and we went into shutdown, like everybody was like, whoa, no, we don't know how to handle this.
Oh yeah.
And so there were some hospitals that said, yeah, doulas aren't allowed to come support their clients anymore. Huge pushback on that because you know, the need for safety in the face of a pandemic aside, we should not cause birth to then become an inhumane process. And denying a woman access to her support system during that time is inhumane. So a lot of the hospitals recognize, okay, yeah, wait, we can't really do this. This isn't right. We have to maintain support of this person's whole health as opposed to just preventing her from potentially getting the pandemic, the COVID-19. And so most, if not all, I think by now all of the hospitals are allowing doulas in the form of recognizing you as a member of the birth team or recognizing you as a visitor. So allowing the patient to have one or two visitors there. And so we do support our clients wherever they birth, as long as it's allowed to have that extra person there. And COVID caused us to sort of rethink how our prenatal and postpartum services, as well as our sister circles, are provided. So we've all but gone virtual, except for the actual birth attendance. And much of what we're doing now is like this, seeing the screen, which
that is what it is.
It's better than nothing.
Exactly.
And you brought this up once before about the sister circles. At least I think one of the silver linings of everybody having to go virtual, which I think was an unexpected lining, is like it has opened up access. I think for people to attend something that they wouldn't normally have, especially if you have a newborn. I mean, leaving the house when I had a newborn was like a 5-hour event. So
unreal.
You know, so being able to just click a button and listen in and hear stories, I think attendance has remained.
Yeah, it was so interesting because the first two sister circles in particular that we had after going virtual, attendance was through the roof, and we were like, what happened? Was it the topic that we had? You know, what are we doing? And we reached out to clients, we're like, well, what is it about the sister circle that made you come and come back? And be like, I didn't have to leave the house. I just clicked. Oh, right. You know, because some of our had challenges with transportation, and that was why they didn't make it to the in-person sessions. And so COVID hasn't been a complete
Right.
It did provide some great opportunities for us.
This may be the
delivery too. Sorry, I remember there was a lot of meals being delivered during COVID as well. I know
Yeah,
doing some
yeah. So
meal assistance.
we partnered with a couple other organizations in getting together and ensuring that those who needed meals were able to have access to meals. So we connected with Mama Sana Vibrant Woman and one or two other organizations to be part of a larger citywide initiative to get meals to clients who needed them. And that lasted for, I think, 6 months. We did that for 6 months, and that phased out in September. And so we have these little side, it's called, almost like our organization has some side hustles, basically.
Okay.
These are
Love
the
it.
things that are about, but whenever the need comes up and we recognize,
Mhm.
oh, we can jump in and help out here, we're all for it, and we do that. And so at one point, we were also providing produce, delivering produce to our clients who needed it.
Okay, forgive me. What did you call it?
Fresh produce, fruits and vegetables, all that goody stuff.
Produce.
Produce, I'm
Wow.
sorry, okay, that's the difference in my accent, okay.
No,
Yes.
I heard, no, okay. I'm embarrassed, but I love accents, so it's not that at all. I heard juice. That's the word I heard was juice.
Like you're giving them juice? That's
What
interesting.
kind of juice got it. Fruits and vegetables. Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a moment. Okay.
It also popped into my head. We started this late last year, and it was a huge success. So we are now bringing this on as another program that we're going to be offering. Anxiety, prenatal and postpartum anxiety support groups. And so that's another thing I'm on board too.
Great.
Really holistic. I think that's the thing that's
oh yeah,
I
can tell.
One big holistic circle of care.
Yeah. That's amazing. I mean, it's not just birth, right? There's so much involved there. I was going to say, I love finally one of these interviews. One of the COVID offshoots is more attendance at your mama sister circles. Like, that's really great. Like, let's find that silver lining. That's really, really phenomenal. And I love the meal thing. I mean, I remember when I had my babies, our mom's group did meals, they would bring meals, and that was like literally a lifesaver, especially when I had other little hungries as well. And
Right.
it sounds like you guys just have your
wrong with the birth process. We have some, moms who are totally expected to have a normal natural birth, and there's a huge complication, and they literally have to have life-saving surgery to have baby. And now you're recovering from major abdominal surgery with a newborn and other children, and it's like, ooh, just getting up to go to the bathroom is a thing. How do I then make sure that everybody has all the meals that they need and maintain my health and all of that?
Wow, this is really, really phenomenal. So how do you keep the lights on, so to speak? Like, how do you garner the financial, literal support for this beautiful mission?
Well, we are 501c3, but we have this unique situation where we're housed within the School of Social Work. But we are happily needing and wanting donations to our organization to sustain this work. We're grant funded, but we really, really want to be funded and supported by the community. Yes. And so if you would like to donate, we would gladly take any forms of donations. You can go to our website, which is blackmamasatx.com. Click on donate, where there are several different ways you can donate. Lots of great information about the programs. We can do a one-time donation or Patreon, join our Patreon, which is monthly. But we have, we're out there hustling with projects, joining up with other organizations, really, spreading the word we know there's the need, we're spreading the word. We're going to be actually moving services into Manor. So, you know, continuing to spread the word throughout Central Texas,
Right,
because,
right.
you know, the goal is to really eliminate this disparity. And so we're doing a lot of education, not just with our moms, but with the community
Right,
about
right.
the issue. So we encourage folks to give give to these mamas, give to these doulas who are working, and our social
Wow.
worker who are really supporting so many women, Black women, at this like critical point. And so you know, we have, if people are interested, have special talents that they want to give as well, if you
Okay.
contact us, we are certainly, you know, we're a very small staff. We've got an executive director, 2 doulas, and a social worker. And so we are
Wow.
always open as well if there's someone who has a special talent um, to provide that service. Donations, I know we currently, I don't know, actually you might want to speak more about what donations look like in terms of but we have open arms. So
So our biggest need donations wise is for cash that we can then
Of course,
where
of
we need
course.
to be. That's the real.
yeah,
Um, there are folks who would reach out and say, well, I've got baby supplies, or I've got, you know, things for, I've got strollers and things that a mom can use.
Mhm.
And we are happy to facilitate connections with those in need and those who are wanting to give.
Yes.
And that's wonderful. We definitely are so grateful for that. But the reality is that it is the hard cash that's
No.
going to fund this
Yeah.
work
Oh yeah,
going forward.
cash is king.
And I just
we
want to
don't have
say,
really a lot of space right now.
Right.
I just
Anything.
want to say one of the things, I hadn't mentioned this earlier, but one of the things that makes Black Mamas ATX unique in what we're doing and how we're doing what we're doing is one of the principles of the founding members of Black Mamas ATX is that um, the work that's needed in addressing these disparities should be done by Black women, and that's why we are a Black woman-led organization.
Yes.
That's a Black woman-staffed organization. The doulas are
Yes.
both Black women, but it should not come at the cost of ourselves. You know, we have a history as Black women of just giving and not
Yes.
being compensated, not being recognized, but expecting to give until there's nothing left in the cup to give.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
that is abusive. And so we did not want to create an organization whose mission was addressing this horrible issue that we have to address by perpetuating that practice of expecting Black women to give continuously of themselves without being adequately compensated. And because of that, Black Mamas ATX took the approach that the doulas and the other staff members that we have, the folks that we have working in the organization, should be compensated a living wage to do what they do so that this work can truly be sustainable, because otherwise it's not. And so
No.
we didn't go the route of, okay, we're going to have a doula program that's volunteer doula funded, based, right? We wanted to have a situation where the doulas who are part of the organization are doing so with fair compensation. And so I definitely had to share that because it is unique. It is a unique feature among organizations like ours.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's important. I mean, you have to set up a strong, you know, stable, I mean, the need isn't going to go away.
Right.
But if you don't set up a strong house, it's going to fall apart. And then what? So brilliant. You are smart Black women.
We are.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Oh, that's just like been so amazing. And my last question is always, is there something that we haven't covered yet that you would love to share before we close?
I feel like I mean, for me, I think it's also just for anyone who's listening to understand that it's this bigger issue and Black Mamas is doing this amazing work here. And that also people have to get in at the policy level, at the community level, at the individual level, and really pay attention. And Black women have a lot of answers. Give this platform to let the Black women who have answers for things lead that way. And so thank you for having us on and giving us the
Absolutely.
platform and being able to
Yeah.
speak for ourselves, about ourselves, for the community.
Mhm, mhm. Absolutely. I'm in awe. I'm in absolute awe. It's really incredible. I did have one last question. I just remembered. Is this unique to Austin? Are there other entities? Is this going on in other parts of the country? Like other, you know,
Organizations, you mean?
yes,
Mhm.
yes. Good.
Um, as far as I'm aware, we are not unique in the sense that there are many other doula organizations, even within Austin. I mentioned the collaborative, Maternity Health Equity Collaborative, of which we're a part. It's a combination of 4 doula organizations in
Okay.
Austin.
Okay.
We may be unique in the sense of our focus being on Black women.
Right.
Many doula organizations focus on women in general, or
Right.
people of color in general. That is a little bit
Okay.
broader in its focus than ours.
Okay.
And I mentioned the approach in terms of
Yes.
the setup of the organization.
Okay.
That, as far as I have been able to see, seems to be a little bit unique. There may be 1 or 2 others out there doing that, but certainly not the majority.
Mhm.
And
I think that,
the way in which we do it is unique. You don't
yeah,
usually find doula organizations having that 1-year connection.
You blew me away with that.
Think
That's
about
full
your
commitment.
impact when you think about it. Yeah.
exactly.
So
That
that
is
approach is a bit unique as well.
You're really investing. Like you're really,
Yeah.
I think what you're doing is investing in each woman, which is each family. And then that clearly has to grow. I mean,
Mhm.
Yeah, the ripple effect of that. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't possibly really appreciate in that one experience that you have with that person what the ripple effect is of ensuring the safety of a mother
Right.
to bring forth a child and to care for that child and have that child be nurtured in that first year and support that woman's transition into motherhood in a way that might not otherwise have existed for her. It's
right.
changing. That's life changing. So
Uh-huh.
It is. It is.
Exactly.
And I bet you're their biggest fan. They're your biggest fan. Just
oh,
out there.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I
said
might
it wrong. Oh
I
Lord have
know.
mercy. But surely for the rest of each woman's life that you help,
Mhm.
100%, you wouldn't believe, the commitment. I mean, 100%. It's beautiful. So I look forward to
How will
the
she
year.
remember this is a thing for us. Like we really take that seriously when we go into a birthing space and when we deal with our clients and interact with our clients, because we know she will never forget it.
Right.
So how will she remember
Exactly.
this? Make sure that it's a positive experience, and make sure even if the experience itself is less than positive, at least she can say, I remember I had that person in my corner.
Exactly.
That person
Yes.
Right,
supporting me.
right, for
That
sure.
I forget as well.
Yeah.
It's soul work.
It is
Mm.
soul work. It's so
Ooh,
beautiful. I'm so
ooh.
proud to be part of this.
Yeah.
It gives me goosebumps. It really does.
I have secondary goosebumps.
This
So, so
is the work. This is the work. Yeah.
Mhm.
love it. Thank you for, boots on the ground and doing it the way you're doing it. So smart. Probably not easy, but
No,
so smart,
it's not. Yeah.
I like though you've niched. They always say always niche, because when you niche, you actually dial in such a more impactful way
Mhm.
than, so,
Yeah.
yay for that. So I just threw that in there. So this has just been amazing. You are really warming my heart, and thank you so much for your time today, your time all the time. I have a feeling you get, I know you get called up at, babies don't know what time to come, at 4 a.m., right?
Always,
Like,
always
we
on call.
Not business hours, I bet. Yeah. Oh, even more respect there. So anyway, so thanks so much. I really, really appreciate it. And I really hope that this interview provides more exposure and a support and exposure and support for Black Mamas ATX, and doula support everywhere is just, it's such a beautiful thing. So
It
anyway, well, I will end this now. So thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
And And you guys enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.